Hi, this is Sean Law from Sydney Lorcana. I've got special guest Robbie here to talk about his sealed deck that he played at DLC Singapore, which was, I believe, sets 1 to 4, 2 packs per set. So let's take it away, Robbie. Let's talk about this deck.
Alrighty, thank you so much for having me, Sean. This is an absolute meme, but also, if there was ever perfection in 40 cards, this is what it would look like. I suck at sealed. I am terrible at sealed. I always have been terrible at sealed. But then we had this situation where we opened these packs, and I just kept getting meta playable cards that would basically destroy everyone in the room. So you could see from the top here, we had some extremely staple metas cards like Mother Knows Best, Friends, Rapunzel, Sudden Chill, Merlin, Dolores, the Goat. There was the Mickey that can play something for free. We had two Grammatalas, a Pegasus for turn one, a Donald Duck to get me more draw cards. Like, there was just so many good cards across sets 1 through 4 in this. And unfortunately for the people who versed me, they definitely caught the rough end of that because it just almost seemed like my deck had a curve every time I was playing this, even though it was just complete and utter coincidence. And it was doing ridiculous things. Like, in no circumstance should you be singing Friends with Crab and playing Grammatala on turn 4 in in a sealed event, or playing even just Rapunzel to draw a bunch. The Mickey was questing to play the 9 drop Goofy as well. The one that, well, not quest, the one that exerts itself for 2 to play a character from hand. So there's some random big characters that made it in as well. There was a low count of uninkables, and even in the friendly that I played with Chris later on as well. There's just dumb stuff always happening. Like, I sang the bare necessities, and he had one card left in hand, and it was Medallion Waits. So it was the only draw power he had left in his deck, and it just absolutely seemed very silly and very unfair.
Yeah, well, looking at this list, you've got tons of cards which, like, I mean, even like the Ursula Legendary is pretty backbreaking. I mean, it's backbreaking when it comes down in constructed. I mean, let alone in limited, with it exerting the opponent's creature, and I think it quests for 3 as well.
Oh yeah, and just also
Uh,
low cost songs. We had 2 cost and 3 cost songs here in Sonic Warrior. Like, what
yeah,
the
which is
hell?
also yeah. In this set, in the first 4 sets, Sonic Warrior isn't a rare like it was in the reprint set. It was still
It's still super rare.
super rare. So the fact that you were still able, and I mean, you also have a shift target for Ariel as well, which is just pretty
Yep.
good because Ariel, when she comes in on turn 4, is absolutely. It's pretty rough when you play it in constructed. I can imagine in limited it'd be pretty difficult to get rid of it, and even if they're putting damage on it, if you happen to draw your Rapunzel, that's very easy to get 3 free cards.
Oh, for sure. And with particularly as well, cards that directly would draw cards in this deck. Dolores, Friends, Rapunzel, Donald, the Grammatalas. That's already half a dozen cards there off the bat in a sealed deck. Not even including the fact that you can Mother Knows Best a bunch of those characters to play them again as well. It was just an absolute pleasure to play this, and obviously an experience where I'll probably never ever get this lucky again with what I pull. But it was just absurd. Like, there's no other way I could describe it other than absurd. Like, when I versed people, they literally had no chance. It was actually that easy. Like, it was insane. It was very funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, even with your 2 drops. Oh, sorry, yeah, even with your other cards, you've got, Cusco, you've got Surfer Mini Mouse, which is pretty backbreaking and limited because the removal is not great.
Oh, there's several evasives. There's the mini
Yeah.
Mouse. There's Ray. There was Pegasus. What else do we have there? More evasives in there as well. I think that broom gets evasive as well. Yeah, the broom gets evasive on my turn.
Yeah, and I mean you've got a lot of also like really big questers with the Goofy, the Ray, and I mean even you've got also and the Ursula, and then you've got a whole bunch of two questers as well. So it's yeah, it looks like a very strong deck.
Yeah, and even I forget who it was, but one of the guys in round one put out a real big body, and I played Louisa with improvise, and he's got a sword, and it was just like, all right, I could just deal with it, you know.
Hmm.
And Mother Knows Best did the same thing as well, because that the kind of tempo that card provides sometimes in competitive is very underwhelming, but in sealed, wow, bouncing a card is insane.
Yeah, especially if you say like drop a Simba on two, bounce, deal with their one drop and then bounce their two or three drop, you could potentially quest multiple times with Simba, which would be absolutely backbreaking given that it quests for three.
Yeah, yeah, the Simba that was a target for it as well as the goat for obvious reasons. It was just could do either or. It was nice having more than one option there for sure.
And in the Singapore one, it was also best of one, wasn't it?
It no,
Or was it best of three?
I think man, I can't even. I think it might have been best of one actually.
Because I
I,
mean, I think all the side events I did were best of one, so it seemed like that was the theme with most of their events.
Yeah, I think it might have been best of one. I don't know why I recall playing a best of three at some point, but it might have been a friendly. Yeah, I think they were all best of ones. It was really good because it meant all the side events went really quickly. So if you were trying to, just get a bunch of tickets and just be efficient about it and just, play as many as possible and win as many as possible, it made it really easy rather than just having to sign up, drop, and jump to another one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was yeah, and so with this deck, you ended up winning the whole seal, didn't you? With the
Yeah, so look, I did in the last round with Chris Young because I wanted us to just split tickets because I paired a mate. We've traveled all this way, and it was like 50 tickets for first and 20 for second, and it's just fair to just go 35 each. Like that's such a bad split otherwise. So, but we did have a friendly, and then we dropped it to play another sealed. But at the time, I was whooping him. That was when I ripped the medallion weights with their necessities. He had no cards left. I had a board. So, but it was good fun. We were just having fun.
and would you do this sort of event if you went to another DLC?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So look, they what I liked about the one day event, which I'm hoping they do the same in Hong Kong, is they did the sealed events and various side events the day before the event in a hall next to the main hall, and it was quite nice because it felt like we could at least play beforehand with these types of fun decks. We didn't have to use our meta decks because you don't really want to show what you're playing when you go to those events. I know some people don't care, some people do, but it's I think a lot of people, for very respectable and fair reason, don't want to specifically ever just be out playing a specific deck at these events, just in case people are looking over your shoulder. So it was really well structured.
All right, thanks for talking about your interesting sealed deck, and maybe we'll have you on the channel another time when you if you open another cracker sealed deck at another DLC.
I might just bring
Um,
this one and pretend I pulled it.
yeah, yeah, you could do that. Uh, all
No,
right,
cheers, Todd. You have a good one. Thanks, mate.
all right. Thank you.